Hello everyone, Ian Iliona here. Another day in Los Angeles, I have to say. I was all set to leave. I had my plane ticket and everything. And right before I was about to get off the bus, this mother comes on with her child, and the child says, "Mommy, can I pet the dog?" Now, this is my service animals, right here. They're clearly labeled so and everything. But the parent says nothing. I say no. And then the child comes running toward my service animals. I say, "Get the fuck away from my dogs." And the bus driver says, hey, you can't speak like that. Get off the bus. And I say, "This child is trying to grab my service animals." And because of that, I have had, once again, ejected from a public transportation, and then immediately afterward, they do the same thing of, well, if you want, this female safety officer will escort you to your destination. And I say, I have PTSD from military sexual trauma from a government agent, Master Sergeant Miranda, a female Master Sergeant sexually abusing me and sending me to the hospital. I'm not going to get into a car with a woman ever again. Now, I've had to go back and forth with the police, back and forth with the transportation authority. And obviously they say, a child, diminished capacity, doesn't know right from wrong. This specific child had special mental difficulties. But then if it had mental difficulties and it was with its parent, why wasn't the parent holding its hand? Unless they knew ahead of time that I was going to be on this and launch their child at my dogs. Now, it seems outlandish until you say that this is the second time I've had an issue with females in Washington state either putting their hands underneath my clothes or using an opportunity to try and invade my personal space, reminding me of my military sexual trauma. Now, I was all set to leave, but I'm an American citizen. If this happened in another country, it would be, who are you to come over here and bring your bullshit? But I'm in America, and this is the reason why I leave you. This is the reason why I wanted to leave you. It's because you keep doing this on purpose. And I won't say it any other way, because you do this shit on purpose. There's no way that this is random. No way. I refuse to think that this is random. And even if it was, what does that say about this state that they just allow? Yeah, I know, I'm getting agitated. Yeah. My poor service animals. I thought that the solution to this kind of behavior was to leave. No, the solution is you stay and you fight. You stay and you speak up for yourself because you have rights in your own country. Never forget that you have rights in your own country. You have the right to say no. No means no. I've been sexually assaulted on buses. Had some creepy old woman on an Amtrak train put her hands underneath my clothes, climbed all the way to the back of the train in order to do that. And I was told, you shouldn't complain about that. What the fuck is wrong with you, America? You think you have the right to sexually abuse or sexually assault a veteran? No, thank you. I mean, I look terrible right now, and, I just wanted the space, the goddamn fucking space, to take care of myself, to leave here and just say, you know what, the bullshit that I deal with, that's Americans being Americans, assholes. Americans being assholes. But maybe if I left here, I would see something different. Maybe. I was willing to give up everything. I was willing to change everything, even leave my service animals and say, you know what? It's not worth it if they're going to use my service animals as an excuse to trigger my sexual trauma from having a government employee target me for sexual abuse, which is what happened. I'm coming back. I'm going to have to speak to City Council about this. I'm going to have to speak to state legislature, because this is not how you treat a veteran. Veterans are people here, and they come back different, changed, broken. I don't expect to wear a t-shirt that says, I've been sexually abused, don't talk to me. But if I say no, and no means no, it should be enough. Now, because of this incident, I've had to speak to 2 or 3 females. Now, they're just doing their job, but that's triggering for me. And I didn't even have to do that. So I have to ask, why are you doing this? Can't you do this to anybody else? Like I said, I'm not Tom Holland. Go bother someone who's white at least. I'm a poor brown person who's been sexually assaulted. Leave me alone.